Next time you crack open a cold one, take a second to realize what you're actually doing. You aren't just having a drink, you are participating in a ritual that outdates the written word. The invention of the wheel, and even the human species itself. Our craving for a buzz didn't start in a medieval tavern or a Roman vineyard. It began roughly 10 million years ago in the dense jungles of Africa. Scientists call it the drunken monkey hypothesis. When sugary fruit falls from the canopy and hits the forest floor, wild yeast gets to work. It ferments the sugars, transforming them into ethanol. When our ancient primate ancestors scavenged that rotting fruit, they got a mild accidental buzz. They didn't understand the chemistry, but their brains registered the dopamine hit. Over millions of evolutionary years, our ancestors became biologically hardwired to seek out that scent. We didn't just stumble upon alcohol, we evolved to hunt it down. So, the taste was already in our DNA by the time modern humans walked the earth. But when did we stop foraging for fermented fruit and start brewing it on purpose? The timeline was completely rewritten in 2018 inside a cave in Israel. Archaeologists discovered bedrock mortars left behind by the Natufian people around 13,000 years ago. Inside the stone grooves, they found the chemical signatures of malted wheat and barley. They were brewing prehistoric beer. Here is the mind-blowing part. These people hadn't invented farming yet. They were still nomadic hunter-gatherers. They were foraging wild grains, not to bake bread, but to brew booze. It completely shatters the traditional timeline of human history. We were taught that humans settled down, invented agriculture, built towns, and then figured out how to make alcohol with the leftover grain. But the evidence says the exact opposite. Look at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. It's a massive complex of 10-ton stone pillars carved with intricate animals, built 12,000 years ago. For decades, experts couldn't figure out how nomadic tribes organized the massive labor force required to build it. Then, they found massive stone vats holding up to 40 gallons of liquid, laced with the chemical residue of fermented grain. They were throwing massive prehistoric keggers. This discovery sparked a massive debate among anthropologists. Did we invent farming because we were hungry, or because we were thirsty? Leading archaeobotanists now argue that the human drive to cultivate crops wasn't driven by the desire for bread. Bread is incredibly tedious to make. Beer is practically automatic. You soak the grain, ignore it for a few days, and let airborne yeast do the magic. The social and psychological reward of a shared drink might have been the ultimate catalyst for the agricultural revolution. Once we figured it out, we perfected it fast. By 7000 BCE in a Chinese village called Jiahu, humans were mixing complex cocktails of fermented rice, honey, grapes, and hawthorn berries. It was ancient mixology. By the time the ancient Egyptian empire peaked, beer was the actual engine of civilization. If you were a laborer dragging massive limestone blocks to build the Great Pyramids, you didn't get paid in gold. Your daily wage was 4 to 5 liters of thick, nutrient-dense beer, and it was the smartest thing they could have done. The Nile River was notoriously polluted, but the fermentation process killed the bacteria, making beer the safest hydration source. It was packed with calories to fuel grueling manual labor, and Egyptian doctors literally prescribed it as medicine. The story of alcohol is the story of us. From a primate seeking out rotting fruit in an ancient jungle, to nomadic tribes building the world's first monuments, to empires paying their workforce in liquid gold. Civilization is complicated, but the impulse behind it might be incredibly simple. Every time you raise a glass, you are continuing a 10-million-year-old tradition. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden history of humanity, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what we should investigate next.